Hey, today we are going to talk about something that every business owner wants, but the vast majority never build. And that is systems that work while you sleep. And in particular, this is going to be for 2026 because we have so many things available to us as business owners that it really does not make sense to take time out of your day to build these systems that literally will make you money while you sleep, will wow your customers, will make them feel like they are number one, and will allow your employees, the people who you have, whether they're virtual employees or whether they are in-house employees, feel like they are making a huge difference. And so these are the systems that work while you sleep in 2026 that will make a huge difference for your business. So, my name is Dean Soto, and I am the founder of ProSulum.com, PROSULUM. And let's get into it. So, first things first, you are in a revolution. You are in the AI revolution that is not the type of Terminator, Skynet, take over the world type thing that you hear on the news. You're in a revolution that will allow you to scale so much personal attention to your business, to your clients, to your employees, to your family, and to anything that is valuable to you, and give them an experience that only companies like Amazon could do with billions and billions and billions of dollars for the last 2 decades. And for pennies, literally pennies, you can now create documented systems that lead to automated systems that lead to automated revenue growth. Okay. And it's exciting. This is something that you should be excited about, because you can either be fearful like everyone else is on the news that AI is going to take over everyone's business and AI is going to destroy everything. And yeah, AI is going to make a difference. Email made a difference. Email made a difference to the mailroom in companies. You don't really have huge mailrooms in companies anymore. But those people who were working the mailroom are now doing other things. Okay? In fact, back in the day, a computer used to be a job title. I don't know if you know this, but there was an actual job title of human beings being that was called a computer, and they would do high level calculations in math for aerospace organizations and other organizations. And that went away when the computer became something that was on your desk. Okay. So we're going to talk about 3 different systems that you can do right now. One being the most valuable that I'll share at the very end. One being the most valuable that if you implemented just that one system, your business would transform overnight if you just documented that one system. And yes, I do mean document. Okay. But I'm going to talk about 3 different systems that will change the game for you in 2026. Okay. All right. So, system number 1 is using and documenting and using AI to reach out to your clients and give them a strategic partnership to actually use AI to document to your staff how to use AI, such as Manus.im or GenSpark or ChatGPT and so on, and utilize the different connectors that you're able to use with these platforms. Connectors meaning they can connect to your Gmail, they can connect to your connect to your Asana project management tool. They can connect to different databases. They can connect to Notion. They can connect to Google Drive, Google Workspace, all these different things. And you utilize the project aspect of these tools as well, and you simply create a prompt that says, I want you to go to our CRM or our project management tool or our Google Workspace, and I want you to do as much research on the client as possible. I want you to also look at all of the correspondence between the client and what we're doing as possible. And I want you to then create a 30-day, 60-day, 180-day annual plan for this client. And when you're done with that, I want you to create a project in Notion, or I want you to create the plan in a PDF form that I can give to their account manager, or I want you to create a project in Asana that has a parent task and subtask. That's what we do. We use Asana, and it'll actually create a parent task for that client, and it'll have a whole bunch of subtasks that tell their account manager how to support that client throughout the year, based off of all of the information that you have about that client. So that client now gets personal touches. That client is now, we are now a strategic partner with that client. Okay. So this system, when you get a new client onboarded, or when a year goes by, you have it documented for your account manager. Enter in this prompt, whatever that prompt would be. Enter in this particular documented prompt into Manus.im or GenSpark or ChatGPT or whatever, ChatGPT agent mode. And when you do that, it will give you an action plan. It will put in it'll create an Asana project for you. It'll do whatever for you, and you'll have that for the year. And I want you to do that every single time, every single year, every 30 days, every 60 days, whatever it might be. And now your guys are armed with the playbook for treating your customers like they are number one that entire time. And that's what we do in our business. It's been phenomenal. It's really, really helped with customer retention as well as customer growth. We've had customers refer us to other people just because of that experience. So, which leads to number 2, customer onboarding. And so I'm going to lump these all into one. You can choose one out of all of these actually in number 2. So you have customer onboarding. You also have sales onboarding, sales and prospect onboarding. One of the things that we were struggling with a lot was our sales guys would hop on calls and they really wouldn't know about the prospect. Even though the prospect had put in some information into the sales call, like the Calendly, we wouldn't know exactly what they were, what their business was, what their pains were, things like that. And so the same thing went for our onboarding. Let's say a prospect said, yes, I'm in, let's do this. I really want to get going. The problem with the onboarding that we had was our onboarding manager would get a appointment on their Calendly to onboard their new prospect, but they would have literally no idea anything about the prospect. They might know a little bit, but not much. And so what we documented and developed was an automated way to have these different agents, ChatGPT agent mode, Manus.im. We have a couple of different custom agents that we've built with OpenClaw and so on. But we are able to now do a ton of research on this client ahead of time so that our sales guys know their pains, their industry, their likely personality. They know everything about that they possibly can about the prospect when they get on. And then our sales team, because we have the transcripts our onboarding team, because we have the transcripts from our sales, we have the correspondence from email, And then we also have the research. We have, for our onboarding team, we'll actually generate ahead of the onboarding calls plans for them. Like I would call these like quick start plans and 30-day plans where before they even get on the call, it's giving them ideas of how can they utilize a virtual systems architect, which is what we have at Pro Sulum. These are real people who will document everything. So they're like virtual assistants. Your typical virtual assistant, you give them a task, they'll do the task, and then they'll ask you how to do that task over and over and over again. But what we do is you give them a task, what we call a virtual systems architect, a VSA. You give them a task, they'll document that task. They'll document step by step what you just told them and showed them via like a 5-minute video. And then they'll do it forever, and you never, ever have to do that again. And so we'll send these beautiful, using Nano Banana, Manus and GenSpark and so on. All these different agents are able to use Nano Banana from Google, which there might be something new coming out that would even be better. But Nano Banana will take our logo, design this one pager before they even get on before they get on an onboarding call that says, gives them ideas on how to use their VSA, custom to them. So, for example, we just had a company that deals with a lot of different brands, and they onboard a lot of different companies to help build those company brands. And so it was giving ideas such as, utilizing, like qualifying clients ahead of time for even becoming a client. It had ideas on using your VSA to do outreach for the brand ahead of time for their clients, the brand's clients, to see why the prospect or the client that just came on board, why their clients actually love them, why they chose to be with them. So you have a VSA going to your clients, reaching out to them and getting all this survey data so that when they actually talk to the brand agent who's going to help them with branding, the brand agent literally knows why their customers love them. So now they can position them correctly. And so this is like done in a beautiful PDF, looks amazing. Logo is all branded and everything like that. And then a 30-day quick start guide of showing this is how you use your VSA. 5-minute video. The VSA documents what you showed them. The VSA takes ownership of that task. They do it over and over and over again. You never have to worry about it again, and you keep on doing that on repeat. And so it's just a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful system that's documented, but it utilizes AI. It utilizes my staff, and I don't have to do anything in that. And it's given a custom, personalized, loving thing to our clients. Okay. And so for system number 1, so this is the number 1 system that you can do, that you can use, that you can document, that I think would change the absolute game for you. Okay. This is the number 1 system that I think you can document in 2026 that will absolutely 100% start making you way more money, especially if you're in a service business. And that is utilizing AI and networking events, like in-person networking events, to find the perfect networking event for you to go to, not just some random meetups or anything like that, but using AI, documenting exactly what your target market is, documenting exactly the locations you're willing to go to, documenting the times that you are looking at in the week, and letting AI use that documentation to then go and search using manus.im. They have like a wide research function that you can use. Personally, I use OpenClaw. OpenClaw, I have on a Mac Mini, and I do this on my own. But it knows it has the entire process documented, and in a system where every day it looks at meetup.com, it looks at Eventbrite, it looks at the local chamber of commerce, it looks at chamber of commerce's within 100-mile radius, finds what their events are, sees who the target market is going to be there, looks at what the business dress is. Is it casual? Is it business dress? It looks at the times. So on my calendar, if it's something that was going to conflict, it might not put it there. It'll put it there and say, hey, this might conflict. And it puts this all into a Notion database, but you can have it go into a Google Sheet or whatever you want. But it puts it into a Notion database with a table and everything like that. If I say, it has like a unique little identifier as well. And if I say, hey, I'm going to go and attend A101, which is the unique identifier, it will then AI knows through the system, through what's documented, that if I say that I'm going to attend a specific event, my AI agent, in this case it would be through OpenClaw, but you can do this through ChatGPT, you can do this through Manus. You just have to have the right prompt. And I could share those prompts with you and so on. I might, if there's interest, I will do another video with all of those prompts. And I'll show you exactly how I do a lot of this AI stuff. But it will then start researching everything about that particular event. It'll give me a plan, because I'm an introvert. I don't like going to networking events. It'll actually give me a plan of how I should go about it. And then when I go and I come back, all I have to do is I have to give it the information on the business cards, talk about, I do like a quick little voice note, how things went. And then it will input that into a little CRM of who I met, why I think they're important. It'll prioritize them, and it'll actually remind me in Notion how that I need to keep up to date with them. Like if I haven't talked to them in like 30 days and they're really important, I need to actually send out an email. And this has allowed me to make strategic partnerships. In fact, I just made a strategic partnership with one of the news stations here in my local area. That's how powerful this is. So I met somebody from the news station. They loved what I was doing, and they're like, hey, we need to go and talk. Like that comes from going to the right networking event with the right people and not wasting my time, because we have a documented process of we're not just going to networking events to go to networking events. We have a system that while I'm sleeping is constantly finding networking events that work for me, right? So I can go spend my 2 hours, and I have now literally one of the eyewitness news stations. I have somebody who wants to connect and to talk and to partner up in different fashions. So these are just a few examples of how you can build systems that work without you. If you don't know how to document these things, if you don't, like, let's just say you need a step-by-step checklist, you can go to instant.myprosulum.com. That's instant.myprosulum.com. You can go and just say, hey, I need a documented process. You can type it in, it's totally free. I need a documented process on how to find networking events that are relevant to me. And I just want my personal assistant to be able to find those things. Okay. And it will develop within 60 seconds. It'll give you an SOP that you can use to go and do that. If you want to be more specific with it, you want to say, here's my target market, this is what I want it to be. It will actually document for you everything that you put in there in a actual SOP format. And it takes less than 60 seconds. So you can voice note, you can do a voice to text in there or whatever. And you go to instant.myprosulum.com, pop that in there, and you'll get that you'll get that SOP right away. And, that's just, it can be for your, you can document anything in that. Okay. I like to use AI plus VSAs plus, VSAs are from Pro Sulum, but it could be AI plus an employee plus your documentation. And that really is what equals freedom. Okay. AI plus VSA plus SOP, standard operating procedure, equals freedom and increase in revenue every single time. Okay. So hopefully that was helpful. If you want, if let me know in the comments if you want to actually have the different prompts that I use and the actual different systems of AI. I didn't want to get too technical into this, but if it's something that's interesting, please let me know in the comments. I will share all of that in a different video. But hopefully this was helpful, and I will see you in the next one.